reading for you about somebody who has enjoyed using their power to, I don't know, kind of like intimidate others or just be a bit of a jerk. But it appears that that person has been a bit hypocritical because even as they've been put in charge or asked to manage a team, they have not been managing themselves. They have not been following the rules themselves. So we have the Hierophant in the reverse because this is somebody who uh, is caught up in their own drama, called into the HR office because they broke some rule or because they're not fulfilling their end of the bargain. So we have a boss, could be like mid-level, it could be the owner of a company, but we have somebody who is put in a bit of a difficult situation and told they need to improve, they need to work on what they've been offering, or they might lose their job. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Shayla. Hello, Grant. How are we doing? A devastating message to the self-employed. You're funny. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box if I said it too fast, along with more information on how to become a member in case you need some more content. Or if you would like to find out how to get your very own homemade soy candle, my Etsy shop is linked below as well. But let us dive in and see what else we have. I think we will start with the Tattoo Tarot. What else do we have about this not so great boss? We have the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups in the reverse. So this is definitely about somebody who has direct reports, somebody who manages a team, and unfortunately, they have tried to make things seem like other people's responsibilities or other people's, shortcomings, and that they are like blameless, that they are faultless. But it looks to me with this Three of Cups in the reverse that we have some reporting or some insight into the business that is basically saying the reason that we aren't seeing the success that we want is because you are not managing it the right way. So you might try to blame the people who work for you, but we know that you are actually the problem. So I guess it sucks to be them. Hello, intellectual wanderer. How are you doing? Yeah, there's definitely some bosses that are not pulling their weight. So maybe it worked for a little while to blame the underlings or blame the people that work for them. But the reality is, currently, we've got somebody who is struggling to justify what they actually bring to the table because the truth is, they haven't really been contributing very much or they haven't been doing right by their responsibilities. Hello, welcome back, Priyanka. Thank you for the tip. Kunal's feelings. No contact. And how he sees you. I've added that for you. Thank you, Priyanka. Hello, Jayesh. How are you doing? What else do we have, please? The Ace of Wands. For some of you, this is an interesting development because I do feel like this Empress, who is pretty good at making it seem like they are a great leader or they've gotten a lot done, They have missed the boat, or they don't realize that there is something else that is contributing to the reporting on the success of this team. Maybe someone else who's observing, or maybe it's a new sales tool or whatever. But I do think that this Empress is no longer going to have the free reign that they have had. Meaning, if they've been getting someone else to do their work and they have been, kind of shirking their responsibilities, they're not going to be able to do that anymore. If they have been picking on someone in particular, that has been brought to the attention of the higher ups. So we have a magnifying glass that is resting on this boss. Basically, like, we know that there's something that's not going very well, so we're going to keep our eyes peeled and see if, there's some truth to these complaints, or, where there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing, right? So someone has reported your boss, is what it looks like to me. And even though they might be trying to claim that they're innocent, no, nothing to see here, I do feel like there's going to be some ongoing monitoring. Hello, Prod. How are you doing? Hello, Darnell. Okay, thank you for clarifying, Priyanka. Hello, Akriti. If you would like me to pull some cards for you, please add your question to a super chat, and keep in mind that I do personal questions after the general reading is completed. Hello, Saturn. How are you doing today? So we've got the King of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So I feel like your boss is about to get caught in a lie. I told them that this was due on the 12th, and they didn't get it back to me until the 14th. But hey, look at this email thread. It looks pretty clear to me that you didn't even tell them this was a requirement or a deliverable until after the deadline. Now, how can you have a successful team if you're not communicating with them in a timely manner? How can you expect somebody to meet a deadline when you don't give them the list of requirements or deliverables until after that deadline? I mean, unless they have a time machine, I don't think they're going to be able to make that work. Oh, thank you for clarifying, Priyanka. Shabam feelings and how he sees me. I've added that. Thank you, Priyanka. Hello, Nadia. How are you doing? Hello, SN. How are you doing? Hello, Palak. That's good, Saturn. Balak, if you would like me to pull cards for you, please keep in mind that you'd want to attach your question to a super chat, just like Shayla just did. Thank you, Shayla. Hello, Manuel. ¿Cómo está? As my ex. Ooh, Lord. I sure hope not. But we shall find out. Hello, Jeffrey. How are you doing? What else? Nine of Cups, Tower in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. I think we have a leader, a boss of some sort, right? Could be manager, could be like the CEO. But we have a leader who tried to make trouble for someone on their team, maybe even the entire team. But this is something that they get caught up on because there is auditable proof. So an email, timestamp, or a video of some sort. There's something here where it's like, no, we can actually prove what you were doing or what you were not doing. And as a result, we have some problems with you. We have a need to discuss this because it impacts the performance of someone else. So a failure of their own responsibilities, but it feels like they were specifically trying to get someone to look bad, like they weren't doing their job, right? Hello, Navneet, how are you doing? Hello, Tiana. What's up? Happy Thursday. Hello, Sean. How are you doing? I think as a Pisces, I would say water. We've got Justice in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse, and the Two of Wands in the reverse. So this is somebody who thinks they're real clever until they realize that whatever shenanigans they've been up to have actually been like recorded by someone. I don't know if you've ever had the distinct pleasure of dealing with a person who thinks they're really smooth and their lies are going to be believed, or no one will be able to like prove what they're doing, and then you tell them that they're actually like on candid camera and they're like, what? You weren't supposed to do that? You can't do that. Turns out you do have to really be cautious, by the way. In some states, you have to let somebody know if they're being recorded, whatever. All of that stuff is important. But this is somebody who doesn't realize that they've been under a bit of a microscope because somebody reported that they were not doing their job. And so they've been a bit holier than thou without acknowledging or understanding that whatever they've been lying about, or however they've been trying to get somebody else to look like a bad employee, it's not going to go over the way that they want, because there is a record of what they've been doing, because they are not the only person who gets to have a say on what's been going on. So we have Hierophant in the reverse, the Empress in the reverse, the Emperor. This person has a boss, and that person is not happy with them. I think they're about to get fired because they have lied about what somebody else is doing or not doing. They have tried to make somebody look like the problem, when in reality, the Empress is the problem. So they may even end up getting sued. Hello, Sachin. How are you doing? I agree, Darnell. Oh, I hope that means you get to relax a little bit, Tiana. We have the Eight of Wands and the Chariot in the reverse. I do feel like this is communication that happens without the Empress realizing. Something that the Empress took for granted was some sort of privacy, or, you know, like, I'm the person in charge here. I'm the only one whose opinion matters. No, in fact, corporate is important, or the owner of the franchise, or I don't know, whoever is above this Empress certainly got wind of their inability to be a good boss. Knight of Wands in the reverse and the Hermit. For some of you, this is because this Empress was threatened by you. Maybe you're just smarter than the Empress. Maybe you're destined to take their role because you're better equipped to be a leader. Maybe this is somebody who hit on you and you rejected them. Maybe this is somebody who hit on a coworker and you know about it. But I feel like there's something that you know that made your boss uncomfortable. Like, they were intimidated by you, and as a result, they wanted to make you seem like a problem. King of Rings or King of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Ten of Wands. But by trying to put pressure on you or make you look like a bad employee and not realizing they were being watched, they just expedited their own departure from this company. They played themselves. So I think they're about to get fired. This emperor is the boss's boss, or, has the actual power here. And they feel like this empress is doing something that hurts business. So they're going to get a little talking to. Hello, number one. How are you doing? Oh, that's funny. Number one, I think you can go find a different type of website. Did y'all see what number one's saying? Number one, I would just go hang out on OnlyFans. And maybe you'll get what you're looking for. We got Starry Observatory. A little piece in a cosmic puzzle. Universe only reveals its secret if you dare to dance in the starry dazzle. This is someone who is pretty convinced that they're in control, but they're about to, I think, either get demoted or get fired. And because you are already kind of intimidating to this boss, there is a decent chance that you're the one who's going to take their job. In the realm of shadows where memories are host, the echoes of what is gone still haunts me the most. And wisdom, shadows, deeper truths with the owl card. Yeah, I think you have a better shot at being a good manager. So for some of you, this person was trying to make you look bad because they acknowledged or knew that you might be a better fit for their job. For others of you, like I said, there could have been some awkwardness with them hitting on you or there being some sort of inappropriate office flirtation. But what you know and what you knew was a problem for this Empress. Yeah. Raven, knowledge, death, and energies. Because you saw what this person was really up to or what they were actually capable of. Or maybe, they claim to speak a language that they don't actually speak, and then you show up and you can prove that they don't speak that language. Whoops. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? This is the Rider-Waite or the Waite-Smith. What else do we have? Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups, Emperor, and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, so the person who has been lying about their contributions and not really been fulfilling their obligations as boss are being out-bossed. There's someone else who's going to be able to lay down the law and kick this person out. Like I said, they might get demoted, they might get fired, but I do feel like because they're trying to make somebody else look bad, it's not looking good for them. Because it's not even just you're not doing your job, you're trying to make somebody else look like a bad employee. So we have the Lovers and the King of Pentacles. I feel like the leader, the boss's boss, gives them a choice. You can move to this other department, where you're not in control, or, you can resign today. The choice is yours, but you're not going to be in the same position of power anymore. Because they were too fixated on making somebody look bad or making sure that nobody exposed their lies on their resume. But they ended up trying to attack or, set you up, or maybe an employee that and they were being watched. So their vindictive ways get things kind of expedited for them, right? Like, okay, so it's one thing if you don't know how to do your job, but if you also try to make it impossible for other people to do their job, We really do have a problem with that. It turns out that we're paying them to do that job. So you're a problem. 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords in the reverse. I think they're getting fired, and there's a good chance that you're going to get hired for that role. Again, I feel like you were looked at as a threat, like you could run it better, and I don't want anybody to figure that out, so how can I make you look like you're the problem? It might have worked short term, but it's not going to last for them long term, that's for sure. Hello, Attest, how are you doing? Hello, Rachel. How's your day? Hello, Lemonade. What's up? Hello, Nathan. Hello, AJ. I don't necessarily recommend it, but you know, cool flex. What else do we have? This is the Kipper, by the way. We have Wealthy Man. I feel like for many of you, this is someone who was a little bit too big for their britches, somebody who was a little bit too excited about their position of power. They're losing their power because they couldn't handle it. They got a little too drunk on their power. So now we have the big boss, the boss's boss, changing things up a little bit. Like, okay, you're out. We're going to hire somebody else because you apparently can't handle it. Hey, AJ. We're not here to do black magic. So if that's what you're looking for, I would encourage you to go elsewhere. So we have change. I feel like someone's getting like the boot. And not the cool boot, not DOS boot. You got to turn the boot, right? So that it doesn't do the air bubble thing. I feel like they're actually getting punted from the company and somebody else is getting promoted. Pride goeth before the fall. They were pretty certain that they were going to be able to be in control for a while, but now I feel like we have a new boss being promoted. We have a new leader. Hello, Rasta. Feel free to put your request in a super chat. Hello, Brandon. How are you doing? So we have Thief and Family Room. Ooh, okay. So look, this Empress individual, not a good boss, might have also done something that was borderline like stealing, embezzlement, or this could be, you know, you were charging us to do a job and then you weren't actually doing your work. But with the Thief card, it could be specifically about whatever they said that they could do that they don't do. Maybe they lied about their education. Maybe they lied about their experience. Maybe they lied about whether or not they understood certain elements of business and then relied on you to actually do the work because they didn't know how to do it. But we have an imposter or somebody who is a little drunk on power getting kicked out, demoted, or fired. Sorry. You don't know what you're supposed to know. So, bye-bye. This is the Angels Tarot. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. Are you saying I'm scary, Key Controller? I'm pretty terrifying. What else do we have? Raphael, the Wheel of Fortune. Healing, heals all disorders, protects travelers and medical workers. So if it's protecting medical workers, then maybe you had a boss who claimed that they had a degree in radiology, but they don't. Maybe they claim to know how to do some sort of surgery, but they don't. We have the High Priestess. I'm going to try to say this name, but you guys, I might mess it up. Ilahia? What do you think? How did I do? Did I mess it up? Hello, Simon. How are you doing? Success and protection from magistrates. See, this is protection from your boss because somebody didn't know what they were doing. Somebody was threatened by you. Why are you so smart? If you didn't have so many brain cells, then you wouldn't have had any trouble. Nine of Pentacles. Submission to higher order. Identifies traitors and destroys their plans. Submission to higher order. This is the boss's boss. He's like, now hold on a second. It seems to me like the problem here is you and you're trying to blame other people. But if you're the problem, I could just fire you and promote this other person who actually knows what they're doing, and then I wouldn't have that problem anymore. Right? Eight of Cups. AIL? Yeah. Or EIL? I don't know, you guys. Transformation and gives consolation in adversity. The consolation here is your horrible boss is getting fired. Hello, it looks like you don't know what you're doing, and people also don't like you, so bye-bye. See you later. But it would be real special if this person that you don't really like gets the boot, and then you also get to take their place. I would love that for you. I would love you getting a promotion and no longer having to work for someone who lied about what they can do. Two of Wands, Jeliel. Or Jalil? I don't know. Love and wisdom, victory over those who would attack you. See, this person was trying to make you the problem, and you're having victory over them. Do you need a laugh track as they walk out? I'm sorry, that's mean. Page of Wands, the preventing god. Propagation of light confounds the wicked and slanders. Saves from enemies. See, this is why you should be very cautious when you try to trip up other people. This is somebody who might have been able to stay in their current role if they hadn't been so determined to make you look bad. But because they came after you, because they were trying to like make you look like a bad hire, they actually called attention to the fact that they don't know what they're doing. So they caused problems for themselves when they were trying to cause problems for you. Womp, 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 womp. Well, this is What's the News. Hello, Christina. How are you doing? Oh, we got lots of whack-a-mole going on. Thank you. I appreciate you, mods. Tiana and Rachel, they ain't messing around. What else do we have? Okay. We have the Inky with a K word. Fantasies and fetishes. Somebody who is open to exploring sexually. We're trying to work here, okay? What's up with this? I guess that's what I get for referring to horrible bosses in my title. Lift off, fast action, progression forward, and the wait is over, and tiptoeing, avoiding getting caught acting shady, sneaking around. For some of you, your boss has been dipping their pen in the company ink. Your boss has been stooping somebody that is a direct report. Whoops. I think in most companies that is frowned upon, right? For others of you, this is somebody who was literally what I'm picking up on is somebody was on the company dime, right? They were traveling for work or they were working late, but they weren't actually working. They were maybe twerking. They were yeah. They were getting it on or they were trying to make you look like the bad person. But with that geeky card, I really do feel like there's something here where you might have seen that this person was acting inappropriately with a coworker, or maybe even tried to hit on you. No bueno. Yep. See, they were making some irresponsible decisions. Shout out to my former boss who got caught trying to use the company card at a strip club. That's too funny. I think, is that where this is supposed to be? Cuffing season? That might be at a bar, at least. It could be a rip club, yes. Single and ready to mingle, ready for a relationship, on the hunt, and snooping, digging for dirt, accusations. So your boss tried to make you look like the problem. And I do feel like there's something about lying about what they could actually do, or lying about the work that they were actually getting completed and getting paid while they were actually getting laid. So there's a few problems here that this person's getting exposed for, and I don't think they're going to have a job by the end of it. Sucks to be them. It's cuffing season already. Hello, Anne. How are you doing? Have a good one, Tiana. I hope the rest of the day goes quickly for you. All right, so we've got Priyanka and then Shayla. So for Priyanka, we've got, what are Kunal's feelings and how he sees Priyanka? What are Kunal's feelings for Priyanka? Hierophant in the reverse, 5 of Cups, and the Page of Wands in the reverse. Regret and a sense of loss. Feeling like, I should have been a little bit more, like I should have stuck to what I knew was right. Should have pursued something serious. But I do feel like Kunal is aware of the fact that there is a tendency here to self-sabotage. And how does Kunal see Priyanka? Ten of Cups in the reverse and the Moon. Kunal sees you as secretive or difficult to understand. Someone who doesn't love him. A heartbreaker, or someone who broke their heart. And how does Shabam feel about Priyanka, please? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, 8 of Swords in the reverse, the Chariot and the Devil in the reverse. This is somebody who feels like they might not be able to commit to you, but they feel like they always want to come back around and experience that energy that you have to offer. So I feel like you remind this person of someone from their past. But that is a good thing and a bad thing. This is like, it makes me feel like I have a second chance with somebody that I probably don't actually have a second chance with. But it also makes me nervous that you're going to do to me what that person did. So I think you remind them of someone else, and it's a little bit exciting, but also concerning for this person. Empress in the reverse. He sees you as somebody who struggles with the emotional side of things, somebody who might be a little bit guarded or defensive. Tower and 3 of Wands in the reverse. Like you could leave at any time and drop whatever connections you have. This person feels like you don't get attached easily, and feels like you are very attractive, but maybe not really looking for something serious. I feel like this person's a little bit insecure around you, and wonders like why you would be interested in them. Hello, it's me. How are you doing? Hello, James. I hope you're having a good day. Sock flavor. Oh, goodness. I hope that's helpful, Priyanka. Let's see what we've got for Shayla. This is the Morgan Greer. I'm not entirely certain I can say that word, Shayla, so I'm gonna have to probably do a variation on your question. But my spirit guides can see the question that's written down. Has Shayla's ex tried to anything funny? And no, I'm getting no. Not actually like tried in person, but perhaps daydreamed about it. Yeah, I do feel like there's been, some, well, if I ever had, the cojones to do that, that would be an interesting potential outcome, but no, like I can't think about actually doing that. So, King of Wands in reverse, yes, I've gotten mad enough to think about something like that, but I haven't actually done anything like that. Page of Wands in the reverse, Judgment in the reverse. It's like I ideate, I like think about these things, but actually doing something like that, I don't know that he's capable. More so just the type to be like, okay, well, I guess running away is the option. Ah, well, I mean, hey, paranoia is a real thing. And I don't blame you. Yeah, no, I would say thinking about it, but never actually, because there's too many people getting caught with this stuff. You know what I mean? Is he just like super nervous he would get caught? Yeah, he's like, look, if I tried to do that, I would get caught, okay? I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. I feel like there is a sense of humor here from your ex, which is just basically like, I am way too dumb to try that. Like, I would actually get caught in an embarrassingly short amount of time. So I don't know what kind of terms you're on, but it's kind of cracking me up because this person is like, no, 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 I would totally F that up. Like, whatever. So I'm glad you could be safe with that. Is there anything that Shayla needs to be concerned about that is similar to that? No, no, you're good. This is just like definitely like what is it? Self-effacing. Um, just like, yeah, I might think about these things, but I'm not gonna ever do anything because I know I would be like on the next episode of World's Dumbest Criminals, you know? I taught this guy how to use a can opener when he was 21. Okay, that's pretty rough. Yeah, so he would get caught. So I think you're good. Are there angry moments? Yes, absolutely. But I think there's actually like some maturity at the core here of your ex, which is, means you don't have to worry about that. um, yes. See? Well, those things, to be fair, are kind of awful. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and the giggles. Thank you for hyping if you're able to, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.